Good afternoon, everybody. I thought before we had our first class via Zoom and online this week, it would be a good idea to maybe provide you with a little bit of information on what to expect and how things are going to run and how I think the course and the class will look as we continue to move forward. So this couple slides here is really just to give you the opportunity to get some basic information down before we meet for class on Tuesday. So before I get into any of the logistics of anything, I think it's incredibly important that we remember to take care of ourselves. I am a person that really looks to quotes and a lot of different sayings that really are motivational at times when we're feeling down or frustrated or overwhelmed. And this is a time when everyone is feeling overwhelmed, a little unsettled, and a little unsure. What we are doing is unprecedented. It has never, ever been done before. And while that could be something that could really upset us and lead us down a terrible rabbit hole, it is also something that I'm going to choose to see as an opportunity for us to gain new skills, new abilities, and to learn something about ourselves and our ability to adapt in very difficult times. So it is incredibly important as we go through this process that we remember to take care of ourselves, get outside, try to stay connected as much as we possibly can, exercise as you are able, and really try to take some time out for yourself and some time out to have a little bit of joy in your life. That may help as we begin to proceed and have a little bit of stress every week as we try to make these things work and get through the remainder of this term. Remember that what you are learning today will transfer itself into becoming huge strengths for you in your future, in your careers, in your future, and it is certainly something that you are going to be able to talk about in interviews in terms of how you adapted to change and made things work when times were pretty dark. So try to look at it that way, and please always remember that I am here. I'm going to be extending my office hours beginning this week, and you will get information about that on Tuesday, and my office hours will be via Zoom meetings and Zoom rooms, and I'm hoping that that will let people know that the door is open to just talk and vent and get clarities and answers to questions, as well as direction and support when you most need it. So hang in there. So in trying to look at this whole experience as the glass half full, there are a couple things that are a positive when we go to an online course. So first of all, we have class in the comfort of our own homes or spaces. And what could be better than that, honestly? Comfort, quiet, and in a space that we are familiar with. You don't have to rush to get out and get to the classroom. You can have breakfast and coffee with you. You can enjoy your breakfast while you are in class much more easily. Please remember that your sound does need to be muted in that process. However, you are welcome to do those things. And you guys would be more lunch than breakfast. But in any case, you are certainly welcome to do that. Pet therapy, you know, we all need our pets from time to time. If you have a pet that is in your home and otherwise obviously can't be with you for class, well, now he or she can. Take advantage of that and enjoy a little bit of that kind of therapy when we most need it. And finally, who doesn't like the thought of class in your jammies or your sweats or anything that is comfy and no shoes, and it just doesn't matter how things are and what things look and how put together you seem. In an online course, you can relax just a little bit. So remember that, and let's try to see the positives. Additionally, please remember this will involve a learning curve, especially with me. Very honestly, switching to an online platform is something that is new for many of us, and I am doing everything in my power to adapt and get the skills that I need to give you the best experience that I can in an online platform. I think we'll be ready to do that, but please understand there may be a little bit of a learning curve as I try to switch between platforms of presentation and try to create your breakout rooms and discuss with each of you. There'll be a little bit of that along the way, but if we can understand and accept that this is a learning curve, we will all be experts by the time we reach the end of April, that is for sure. So how will class run? We will meet via a Zoom meeting. As I indicated, it will be your normal class time slot every Tuesday from 12:30 to 1:50. Please make sure you are familiar with using Zoom. If you are not familiar or if you have not used it much, please know that Temple University offers through our IT training a lot of information on how to use Zoom and how to be a participant, as well as how to set up your own Zoom meetings. So please access those as needed, and if you have questions, I am available, and we will go over a couple quick things when we begin class on Tuesday so everybody knows what to expect. Some additional things that you need to know. We do have a regularly scheduled Zoom session for our class, and the link that I have on this slide is the link that we will be using every single class meeting. Now, I will post that on our Canvas site, so it's easy access for you, but I wanted to let you know you won't get a brand new link every single meeting or class time. It is the same class time, which makes it a whole heck of a lot easier for all of us. Upon entering the Zoom meeting, your microphone will be muted. I do that. That really is best practice because a lot of times people will enter, and some people may enter the room a little bit late, but when they enter, there may be sounds, there may be people talking, there may be paper crumpling, your dog may be barking, any number of different things, and that way by muting it, it doesn't disrupt the rest of the class. You have the ability to unmute yourself. In the lower left-hand corner of your screen, you will see a microphone, just like the one here on the slide, and you will be able to unmute yourself when you have a question to ask or we are having discussion. That will be very easy for you to be able to do. We have a small enough class that I don't think we'll run into too much trouble with us voicing over one another, but we'll work on that. I also do have the ability, and I'll talk about that in a minute, to create breakout rooms, which will enable all of you to work in your small groups and me to join your groups for periods of time. So you can do group work, but I can also be available for questions and answers just as we have done in class all along. Additionally, I do want to make sure you are aware, and I will do this, make you aware of this every single class session. I want you to be aware that in order to make this information available to everyone, we are going to be recording. This next slide will have a little bit more about that recording, but as a heads up, you do need to know that we are going to be recording. Secondly, please make sure right now that your equipment is good and up and ready and you have good Wi-Fi connections and internet connections. That is important and you will need that to participate. Remember, this is class. This is your class time and we need to treat it as such, which means that your friends and family need to know that you are in class during that time frame, and so you should ask them to refrain from any interruptions at any time. We really do want to make sure you are engaged in the classroom while we are together. Seeing your face is really important. I am going to miss seeing all of you, and you may miss seeing each other. And so being able to see your faces when we do our class time each week will bring us a little bit of that connection that we need in a time like this. And it may make us feel a little bit like we are in the same classroom. We don't care what you have on or where you're at. As long as we can see each other, it will bring everybody just a little bit of happiness for the day. I will have the ability to create breakout rooms and breakout groups. They will be small little groups of your 5 that you'll be able to discuss your project on, discuss anything that we may be doing, and I will have the ability to enter into each of those breakout groups for discussion. So that will work out quite well. Presentations that you have at the end of this term will be given via Zoom. As we get a little closer, we'll go over that, but we have the ability to give you all control as a group to be able to present on Zoom so that the rest of us can see. So that will work out quite well. And remember, last week I did begin the process of having some of you discussing, or each of you discussing, some of the discussion articles that you all had. I will be notifying the 4 people that I want to have discuss their articles this week with the group. I do want to continue that process because I think there was a lot of really good information and interesting information that that you all pulled together in your discussion boards. And I think we should have the opportunity to share that and discuss that with one another. So we will do that as well this week and every week until we get you all completed. This is what I started to talk about on the last slide in terms of the fact that in order to make it equitable and equally available to all individuals, each of our classes will be recorded via Zoom. By my being able to do that, it makes the course, the class available to you, and it also provides a transcription of everything that was said during our time together. So that's really helpful in terms of trying to pull information out or search specific informational terms for things that you may need for your open book quiz. If at any time you are uncomfortable with the recording, you may certainly reach out to me and let me know. Additionally, while we're in class, if you are uncomfortable at any given point recording, please let me know that and we can address that. As a sidebar here, just so you know, the breakout groups and breakout rooms are not capable of being recorded. So anything that is discussed in those breakout rooms is not recorded. Only when we are together as a large group does Zoom record our interactions. And finally, just a little bit of positive thoughts before we leave. Hang in there, everybody. You got this, and we can do this. And if we are just gentle with each other and understanding that it may take a little bit of time for us to grow through this and develop our skills, we're going to be okay, and we're going to get the information we need in order to get through this course completely. So I thank you in advance for your patience and your understanding as we work through this, and I look forward to seeing you all in the Zoom room on Tuesday afternoon at 12:30. Have a good rest of your weekend, everybody.